Hello, my name is Pete Franz. I'm chairman of the Federated Legacy Fund. For those of you who don't know, the Legacy Fund is a church's endowment fund, which provides annual support to the operations of the church. The Legacy Fund's been around for decades, and we work to grow and manage those assets in order to continue to support the church. One of the missions of the Legacy Fund is to raise awareness of the fund in hopes that we can continue to add to the donations of that fund and increase the volume of the giving capacity. We have spending rules for that fund which allow us to distribute certain amounts. So the general premise is the bigger the fund, the bigger support we can give to the church. At this point we're able to give tens of thousands of dollars a year, but our hope is as we grow the fund to be a seven-figure number and beyond, that we can give hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. And we think that that impact on the mission of the church would be critical. Gifts to the fund don't have to be enormous. The average gift could be tens of thousands of dollars as a portion of your estate. We're not looking for seven-figure checks, although we wouldn't turn them down. The bigger picture, though, is including the Legacy Fund as a part of your estate.
Good day. I'm Robin Harbage, member of the Legacy Fund Committee. But I'm not speaking today as a member of the committee. I'm speaking as a member of the church who really wants to see the church have a sustainable financial base. And the Legacy Fund, our endowment fund, is a great way to ensure that. If we could grow the fund to twice, three times its current value, the already substantial amount that it provides for offsetting operating costs would grow substantially. And as a member of the church, I know I can help with that. All of us could, as Peter says, add something to our estate planning to put a small amount into the Legacy Fund. It would make a huge difference. Of course, you don't have to wait for your will to do it. You can make a commitment today if you wanted to and spend a little bit extra of your annual amount that you give to the church to put into the Legacy Fund. But either way, please think about what you could do to help increase the Legacy Fund. Thank you.
Our support of Federated Church happens in a variety of ways. We think sometimes of a three-legged stool of support for the church: our annual giving, which supports the programs and ministries of the churches, and then our capital campaigns like Rejoice and Renew that we had recently that fund capital improvement projects. But we also have this wonderful Legacy Fund that allows us to give and to support the church in long-term ways. There's a story about trees planted at Oxford University 600 years ago and then forested late in the tree's life, and allowing those trees to make for some gifts to the college that were not possible earlier. We can do that in so many ways by supporting our Legacy Fund. Legacy comes from the same word as the word legate, which means emissary. It means representative. It means delegate. We are representatives of God. We are emissaries of God, sent to love the world in the ways that God loves the world. And we can do that through our gifts by giving to the Legacy Fund to support this marvelous church that has been such a haven for people in so many ways over the course of the decades, the centuries really, of this church's life. So we hope that you will give, and to give generously to that. It's gifts that can be given now, as you've heard. It's gifts that you can be leaving in your estate planning. These are gifts that will make a marvelous difference in providing life for this church, continued life, for ways in which we can support this welcoming community, this church that loves people in so many different ways, that makes for a place where people are welcome and know that they can be whole and can be part of a living community of God's people. Thank you for your generosity. Thank you for the ways in which you give and which you care for this marvelous church.